Saw Mr. Hill, who is also the chair of the Subcommittee on Digital Assets, Financial Technology, and Inclusion, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
I thank the chairman. I thank our panel for being with us today. We've heard directly from the SEC director-level officials over the course of the last few months, and we've certainly enjoyed having Chairman Gensler here to have his point of view on behalf of the commission. So it's great to have your expertise, and we thank you for being with us. You know, not only has the SEC lost in the court of public opinion, even on a bipartisan base here on Capitol Hill, but the agency is now getting trampled by the federal courts as well, especially as it relates to digital assets. In July 2023, a New York judge determined that Ripple Labs did not violate federal securities law by selling its XRP token on public exchanges. In fact, in that case, they were referred to as being arbitrary and capricious. Last August, the court rejected the SEC's reasoning for blocking Grayscale's Bitcoin trust from converting to an exchange-traded fund. And just in the last few days, a Utah judge imposed sanctions on the SEC for, quote, bad faith conduct and, open quote, gross abuse of power, close quote, that the commission had demonstrated in a case against Dropbox. And this is important because we haven't talked about this in a long time in this committee. And as a result of that gross abuse of power,
top United States lawmaker cites Ripple and XRP victory while calling for SEC reforms. Recently, Rep. French Hill used the Ripple case as an example of why the SEC needs to be reformed. Recent times have seen increased scrutiny of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, particularly with relation to its policies addressing crypto regulation. House Financial Services Division on Digital Assets, Financial Technology and Inclusion head Rep. French Hill recently criticized the commission during a hearing. On Capitol Hill yesterday, a hearing with the subject's SE expansion, assessing the need for reform took place. Notably, in light of the mounting allegations of the commission's severe mistreatment, the legislators present at the session discussed the necessity of reforming the SEC. A little excerpt from the hearing on X was released by prominent crypto enthusiast Kyle Hill said during the hearing that the SEC had lost both in public opinion and in federal court. The senator went on to describe how a federal judge in New York found that Ripple Labs, a cryptocurrency payment provider, had not broken any laws by selling its coin XRP on online marketplaces despite the SEC's best efforts. Last July, a judge in New York ruled that selling Ripple Labs' XRP token on public exchanges did not violate federal securities law. Hill announced yesterday, in December 2020, Ripple was charged by the SEC of providing XRP as an unregistered security from 2013 to 2020. This is worth noting. Over $1.3 billion was allegedly obtained by Ripple through the illicit selling of XRP, according to the SEC. Judge Analysis Torres ruled that the distribution of Ripple XRP and its sale on digital exchanges did not constitute an investment contract, refuting the SEC's assertion. But her investigation revealed that Ripple broke securities rules when it offered and sold XRP to large financial institutions. The remedies phase of the case is where the court will determine the suitable punishment for this infraction. Based on the court timetable, the SEC is expected to file its initial remedies brief tomorrow under seal. On March 26th, a version with redactions will be posted in the public docket. At the same time, Rep. Hill brought up two additional cases involving cryptocurrency in which the SEC was trampled by federal courts. He used the example of the SEC's case against Grayscale Investments, where a 3-judge panel directed the agency to reconsider asset management Grayscale's bid to transform its Bitcoin trust into a spot Bitcoin ETF. The court dismissed the SEC's argument for prohibiting Grayscale's Bitcoin trust from transforming to an exchange-traded fund last August. He commented, the legislator concluded by mentioning the recent decision of federal judge Robert Shelby of Utah in the Sexy's case against Debtbox, a cryptocurrency business. According to previous reports, the judge ruled that the SEC misrepresented facts in order to seek a TRO, temporary restraining order, against the corporation, indicating ill faith on their part. Judge Shelby found in favor of Debtbox and directed the SEC to pay its legal fees as a punishment. Additionally, he turned down the SEC's motion to dismiss the case with prejudice, meaning they can't bring it back later. In response, Rep. Hill was worried that the court might order the SEC to reimburse Debtbox for its legal expenses stemming from misrepresentation of facts. He brought up the fact that the commission would be footing the bill for its own incompetence and excessive spending from the public coffers, just so you know. The two sides have now filed a joint sealing request with the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York over the XRP situation. The purpose of this motion is to keep details regarding the cryptocurrency secret. This proposal outlines the timeline of events in the legal dispute between Ripple and the SEC. It also provides an organized strategy to handle concerns relating to sealing and redaction in briefings about future remedies, while recognizing the need for confidentiality in certain instances. This strategy shows that both sides are committed to being transparent, a new step in the long-running legal battle between Ripple Labs and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has been the announcement of a specific schedule for the filing and public dissemination of court documents. Timelines like these show how important it is to be open and honest while still recognizing the need to redact sensitive information. Beginning on March 22, 2024, the Securities and Exchange Commission intends to file its opening remedy-related brief under seal, providing a thorough synopsis of the legal timeline concerning Ripple. Before the paper is made public, it will undergo a review step to see if any sensitive content has to be redacted. The groundwork for the review phase will be laid down in this first step. It takes preventative measures to safeguard personal information while also laying the groundwork for potential legal action. For Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission, the 25th of March 2024 is a key date, a major milestone since it signifies. We are starting to work together to decide whether parts of the SEC's opening brief and in its supporting papers should be redacted so that the public can see as much of the important information as possible. Minimizing the amount of redactions is our primary objective. Working together on this project shows how committed everyone is to being open and having productive conversations. The next day, March 26, 2024, the SEC is expected to provide a redacted version of its opening brief to the public. Only the redactions that have been mutually agreed upon will be included in this edition by ensuring that critical information is accessible to the public while appropriately securing sensitive data. This step's implementation leads to greater transparency. Based on the current status of the proceedings, Ripple is expected to file their opposition brief and supporting documents on April 22, 2024. Despite being filed in a public repository, any confidential information that may be present in these files will be redacted. This approach finds a delicate middle ground between openness and secrecy, which is necessary given the intricate nature of the judicial proceedings. The following 2 days, April 23 and 24, 2024, are set to commence discussions and filings pertaining to the redactions specific to Ripple's opposition brief and the supplementary materials. The goal of these meetings is to improve the transparency measures put in place so far by resolving any outstanding concerns about the security sensitive information. The scheduled submissions will conclude on May 6, 2024, when the Securities and Exchange Commission will submit its reply brief under secret. Making and sharing redacted versions of the SEC's reply brief public will be the focus of further filings and discussions.